Good morning, we are team number 3 and we are going to present the entry mode of Inglot Cosmetics. Inglot is a cosmetic firm founded in 1983 by Wojciech Inglot in Pręslin, Poland, more than 25 years ago. Currently, it has presence in the most important cities of the world. Its expansion began in 2006 with the opening of the franchise first store in Montreal, Canada. In 2013, Inglot had boutiques, stands, and commercial premises on 6 continents, with 450 stores in more than 57 countries. Its rapid growth and development has meant that the company currently has a presence in more than 500 stores in 70 countries on 6 continents.
Inglot's intensive expansion plan includes the opening of more new stores, both in new markets and in markets where the company is already present. The company investment and expansion strategy is very different from the model followed by other Polish companies, because Inglot ignored the advice of the consultants to expand slowly in some countries, and instead of that, the company decided to go to more countries, believing that it is easier to expand once it already has a store in one country. And in just a few years, the company quickly grew to become the most recognized Polish consumer brand, according to the Polish Consultant General in New York.
The entry modes followed by the company have changed over time. Inglot Cosmetics started as a chemical manufacturer. Within a few years, the company became a large cosmetics manufacturer. Subsequently, Inglot withdrew its products from all drugstores and supermarkets, bidding on building a network of its own boutique. For its first international expansion in 2006, Inglot employed the opening of the first franchise store in Montreal, Canada. Since then, Inglot Cosmetics implement franchising as their definite entry mode. After Canada, the company entered the American market, where in 2013, Inglot had 20 different locations in the United States.
The expansion to the Middle East continued in 2006 when a businessman from Dubai saw this store in Canada and wanted to open a similar one for the Arab market. So the next stores opened in Saudi Arabia, Qatar, and big cities of the United Arab Emirates like Abu Dhabi. This market was highly lucrative because the market was willing to pay 3 times more for the prices that the company offered. And also they were getting bored of the same big international makeup brands. Another important adaptation for this region was the customer service due to culture and religion. So the company provided private rooms for women and their maids to make them feel comfortable. Another essential element for the company's success was the breathable nail polish formula called O2M, since it meets Islamic religious rules. This means that this religion prohibits ingredients like alcohol, or they have to use products that are animal cruelty free or that don't have anything related to pork. And at the time, none other company offered that, just England. In 2010, the expansion continued to Asia Pacific, starting in Australia. And England was growing pretty quickly. By 2014, 40% of the company's revenues came from exports. In 2016, the company was present in nearly 80 countries, and there were 100 stores just in the United Arab Emirates. So for 2020, their goal was to have 220 stores across the Gulf states, which are Saudi Arabia, Oman, the United Arab Emirates, Bahrain, and Qatar. So regarding the main difficulties that Inglot Cosmetics has faced over the years, one of them was when trying to enter India. This because of the fierce customs regulations and the high import tariffs, which also increased the product's prices, making them a little bit less competitive. This made the company buy the furniture from the stores locally in India instead of sending their own from Poland, which was cheaper, and they did this for the rest of the other countries, but India was this exception. But even with this barrier, the company adapted, and still, as of 2014, the company had 13 stores in India.
Another difficulty that Inglot Cosmetics face is the focus on consumers increasingly attached to health. The ingredients of the products are important, especially in certain markets, such as the Muslim market, because it looks at the ingredients and that the product complies with Islamic law, as well as the environmentalistic or ecological trend. That is why Inglot launched its nail polish focused on less harmful and generally more ecological chemical ingredients, which test its permeability on the nails. However, this polish represents a difficulty in the company due to the fact that the chemical formula is expensive and complicated. Therefore, the profit margin is not high. And at first, one of the main difficulties faced by the company was criticism for the price of the products, since English products were 3 times more expensive compared to the rest. However, once in 1989 the market economy was reestablished in Poland, the biggest difficulty now was being able to supply a product to the market, as at that time there was a shortage of attractive or innovative products for an enthusiastic market with great resources.
Finally, the company had adopted a strategy to enter a new country. First of all, their products went from being sold in local supermarkets and drugstores to the company's own boutiques, a costly process which in turn led to an initial step fall in sales. However, this allowed to set its own sales margins. It also eliminated the need to compete for shelf space with international brands, which were already benefiting from mass sales. This means this led to a better display for its products. For all these strategies, Inglot avoided taking loans and stock to financing its activities with revenues from current operations instead.
In addition to this, Inglot Cosmetics' expansion strategy has not involved opening factories in other countries, which are countries that can benefit the company for its low labor costs, such as India. The company states that its factory in Poland is enough to cover the current demand they have and that its advanced facilities can produce more than what they are producing now. Also, the company has followed a particular network expansion model by expanding to countries that were not geographically near Poland.
About the update of the entry mode matrix, which in this case the entry mode for Inglot is franchising, we consider that the risk is low regarding trade barriers. The company is well known in many countries, and with the advice, the support, and the expertise from the local franchises, uh, that helps Inglot to understand and enter the new markets. Regarding investment, it is a low risk investment because the franchises absorb the cost of land, equipment, know-how, etc. And the company found this entry mode as an easy capital expansion. Also about flexibility, it is medium flexibility mode for the franchises because the company imposes the structure, brand, furniture, among other things, but does not impose royalties or fees. So that's why we consider it is medium flexibility. And finally, about control, it is a medium control mode. Inglot impose the basic things but cannot interfere so easily later on the process of the franchise. Different from management contracting, franchising does not involve the company in the main intern processes of the franchise.